Hello everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. I thought I was going to have somebody here telling me things, but I don't even know what the hell I'm supposed to talk about, so I guess you can ask me whatever you guys want.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So you said at opening ceremonies that you didn't know about Star Wars until you started working.
Well, I knew about Star Wars, like the first Star Wars I'd watched, or Princess Leia, but I never really got into Star Wars like that.
Okay.
I'm more of that type of person that likes to watch like the first 48 and, you know, different things in life today that, you know, murders and crazy stuff like that. You know, people going through the customs and getting hemmed up for dumb stuff. That's what, and the news. My son thinks I'm boring because I like watching the news. But otherwise than that, I don't really watch. I started watching what I've been into because I get a lot of fans that will ask me questions and I'm like, well, what scene, da da da, and half the time, you know, when you film and they're filming, it's all cut in pieces. So you don't know what scene you're in until you actually watch it when the full thing is done. And that's what I'm writing with my notepad. You know, the 22 seconds in, I'm in this scene next to such and such. So, you know, I'm learning. Slowly but surely, I'm learning. Any other questions?
So how did you audition? What prompted you to audition for this?
No, I didn't audition at all. Just the casting agency called me because of my size, and they knew that I was going to be able to fit in a lot of their costumes. And they called me for costume fittings, and I fit in quite a few things. And yeah, because there's a lot of little people that work on it, but the problem is they have bigger heads than me, so they can't fit into the heads. Like, it's just different for them. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's been a blessing. Thank God I took the part because I really wasn't. You know, I do have a 9 to 5. I work for the federal government, and I got to make sure which one's going to pay the bills better. So, anything else?
Who is your favorite character to play in The Mandalorian?
My favorite?
Yeah.
My favorite is a Jawa because people love the Jawas. But the easiest outfit was Bin Ba, which is the trash can looking thing. Because literally, I could just go in wearing whatever and just throw that can on top of me. And it's easy. All the other ones, you gotta dress and put spandex and stuff on, and you know, it just gets too hot. Yeah, it's you know, a lot of people think like the 501st, a lot of them know how to put fans in their costumes. And I was told Disney, well, why don't you go over to the 501st and put it in ours? You know, if they can do it, why can't you? But it gets extremely hot. I mean, there's been times that I've been on the set that I'm talking myself out of like, I'm getting claustrophobic, it's getting hot, and I want to just be like, I'm done. I quit. There's been plenty of times. And I have my friend Pam that is always in a different costume too, and she's the average size person. So she made me this little bomb thing. You know how the little rolly Vicks things? So she made something like that, and she put lavender and eucalyptus. So she said, before you get in your costume, roll behind your ears, you know, your forehead and under your nose. And that's actually helped a lot. You know, as soon as you can, when the eucalyptus, it's like waking you up. You keep smelling it, and it's just like, okay, now I could maybe do this a little better. So now it's like whenever I get back on the set, it's like, where's the roller? like a crack feed. Like, where's the roller? I need the roller. You're like, Susanna, hurry, you need to get up on the set. Well, I need my roller. So yeah, Disney itself, like working on, when I've worked on Mando, like I've worked on Mando 1, 2, and 3, and then I've worked on Boba Fett. Those were the same crew. So we become family. I worked on Obi-Wan, and literally I worked one day, and I think I rubbed them the wrong way.
Oh, no.
But it was a different crew. You know, for Disney, they should be, how do you say, I'm not trying to bad talk them, organized. And when I went on the set for Boba Fett, it was, not Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, they were unorganized. And for me, being a smaller person, I don't want to run from point C to B, back to C, because you don't know what's going on. So, you know, I'm like, I'll sit here until you guys figure out where the hell I need to go because I'm not gonna keep running back and forth. And that's me lugging all my stuff with me, you know? So I worked one scene and I wasn't a creature, I was actually myself. Have any of you guys watched Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
So it was the scene, and that's maybe why the other thing, because I kept cracking jokes. I was like, I didn't know Disney had a meth lab. Because it was the lab scene that they blew up.
Yeah.
And they had me sitting there with goggles on, concoctions around, like, you know, it was just colorful. I was like, oh, Disney got a meth lab. Hold on, what you guys got me doing? And I'm laughing the whole time. So I just literally did one scene for that, and that was it. The next thing that's supposed to, we filmed it already. It was supposed to come out December 2023, which is Skeleton Crew. And Skeleton Crew is gonna be something interesting. I mean, because it's like a Goonies, a Star Wars Goonies. And the main character is Jude Law. So yeah, so it's gonna be really good. I mean, if I'm on the set going, yeah, it's something, you know, it was very interesting. And I had to watch my mouth a little because there's 4 kids on the set, you know? But yeah, there's more to come. More to come. You know, Disney and Star Wars is always gonna have something up their sleeves. So, yep. Any other questions?
So have you done other things besides the Star Wars?
Oh yes,
stuff,
I've
or
done, so the last year on NBC I did something called The Prank Panel with Johnny Knoxville. And, do I need, and that was very interesting. If you ever want to watch it, you can go on YouTube now and pull it up. It's called The Prank Panel. Season 1, episode 2, and push 19 minutes in, and that's when my episode starts. I piss myself, every time I look at it, I still piss myself from laughing. So the backstory for that is, I was supposed to prank my son because he's scared of clowns. Johnny Knoxville said I was so much of an asshole to my kid, he had to figure out how they flipped it on me. They flipped the prank on me. So you had a mad midget on there. I was pissed off. Because everything I told my son not to do, because the backstory is I said I had a business meeting and I told him he can come because he knows I have night vision problems. So they got me a hotel room. I was like, well, come stay at the hotel room and make use of whatever, you know, the room and go to the pool, whatever. 2 conditions. Do not have anybody over and no loud music. First thing, so he checks into the room and then I go down to, the crew comes and gets me to go to the trailer that's in the back of the hotel to watch my son. So what was supposed to happen was, my son goes to the room, there's already a clown under the bed. There's a clown under the bed, and then, so I asked Johnny, I was like, so what's the plan? He was like, you're gonna go get dressed up in a clown costume. The clown should jump out from under the bed, hopefully scare him out to the hallway of the hotel room. And every room is like, he said it's gonna be like a clown tsunami. And he said, you'll be at the end, basically, prank is on you. Shit went sideways. Okay, cool. What ends up happening, I get, you know, I was like, my son needs to be the man of the house, he's a bitch, he needs to man up. So during this course, he gets on the phone, he's laying on the bed in the room, and I'm watching it through the cameras, and he calls somebody. And he was like, hurry up before my mom comes back. So Johnny's looking at me, he's like, who'd he call? I said, bro, I don't know. Maybe his girlfriend, but I've never met the girlfriend. My son won't let me meet any of his girlfriend because he says what's the word that he says it? Like I rain on his parade, like I jinx him. So I was like, okay, no problem. So they're like, you know how the girl looks? And I was like, it's on his phone. And you know, she's a little Mexican looking girl, like, I don't know. So anyways, he was like, don't worry about it. I said, what are we gonna do if somebody shows? He said, they can't get up to that floor because security. Okay, no problem. They do a couple little things in the room too to spook them. Next thing you know, some girls walking down the hallway. So Johnny was like, whoa, who let this chick up here? And in my mind, I'm like, she ain't going to my son's room. She knocks on the door, he opens it. She was like, are you Nathan? I was like, what the, my heart sunk. I was like, This motherfucker ordered a hooker. So Johnny was like, what are we gonna do? We got a clown under the bed. And now he's about to get some, So she sits at the end of the bed, and she was like, at the end of the bed, and she was like, oh, I'm gonna take care of you, and da-da-da-da, and he's acting nervous, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And my mom, I've been working on this prank with Johnny for, a few months. I was like, now it's gonna go to shit because it's on NBC. This can't happen. They're not gonna show this. She was like, I'm gonna go freshen up. So Johnny was like, she's freshening up. Should we just let the clown? Or are we just gonna have to cut this completely? She's like, fuck it, let the clown out. Let the clown out. My son fights the clown and throws him out the 4-story window. And then I feel a big bang on the trailer where I'm at. So that means he threw the clown out on the trailer. So they were like, cut the coverage, da da da. Susanna, go check on your son. I'm in a clown suit with shoes this big. So I get out and I realize I can't run in these shoes. I kick him off, I run up to the 4th floor where he's at. It's already yellow taped off. The police are there, he's handcuffed. And everything's happening so fast so you don't think. So I was like, they were like, who are you? I was like, I'm coming for my son. Like, my son is naked, but I'm coming to see what the hell is going on. And it just goes sideways. I turned to the hooker sitting in the chair, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? You're like a 40-year-old woman coming to sit on an 18 years pogo stick. And she's holding her, and I'm trying to grab the coffee cup out of her hand so I was gonna throw on the floor and start fighting her. And Johnny's instigating, and then and then she looks at me, she said, who's gonna pay me? I was like, I didn't fuck you. So then I look at my son, I was like, what? Because he just got his FAFSA credit card for school, right? And I was like, and he just got the money on there the night before, so I'm looking, I was like, are you gonna slide your FAFSA credit card on her asshole? Like, what are you gonna do? And they cut out the FAFSA, because you can't really, and I was just going left field. So then they take the handcuffs off of him, and they put them on me. I was like, well, you don't have to put handcuffs, I'm just gonna slide right off of them. I said, this is not my first rodeo, I've been to jail before, so it's nothing. Like, I said, I'm not gonna run off, take me to jail, you don't have to take him, take me to jail. And they sit me down, they stand me up, and I'm going off. They sit me down, make up your fucking mind. Do you want me to sit down or do you want me to stand up? And I'm just going back and forth with the cops and whatever. And finally my son was like, it's a prank. I was like, I'm gonna kill all you guys. So, back it up, they had hired a private investigator to follow my kid to school. He takes the bus to school, to college. And they followed him. And you could see he was a little skeptical because they were filming from far away. And in his mind, because I tell you, I watch all these shows, he was like, I'm gonna get kidnapped by the Mexican mafia and they're gonna go sell me like a kid out in Mexico. Oh my gosh. So he keeps, you could see, he keeps looking at it because he really didn't know. Johnny knows, when I auditioned, I swear to God, I didn't remember how. I was like, I know this guy from somewhere, but it didn't click with me. He got gray hair now and da-da-da-da, so it was just crazy because like I said, they took him out of school. Oh, you got me the pie. I'm fat. Do you have room for that? I don't think so. So,
well, you better finish it.
Man, so I'll take it up to the room. So anyways, it was just crazy how they took him out of school. They talked to his instructors and they got him out for training. So I didn't know he was with them. My son will not shit in a public restroom. He will not. So one day I called him because there's a certain time he comes home. And it was odd, he was 30 minutes late, so I called him, I said, are you okay? He said, I had to break the seal. I used the bathroom and it didn't click to me. That's Johnny talking in his ear because they were filming and I didn't know they were filming 2 days prior. I guess they were showing him how to push the clown out the window and then never ever tell anybody what you are scared of. That was my wrongdoing. I'm terrified of rats. I'm not terrified of anything else but rats. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the eyes, I'm just different. They got a live rat that they had to teach my son how to carry it and how to maneuver with it. Because of the pedal law. At the end of the show, he came out with this big rat. I almost called up the police officer that was in front of me. It was just crazy. And it was like a big rat. It was like, And he's scared of rats too, so I was like, but he was like, it's tame. I was like, oh, don't talk to me. But that was the highlight. You know, he even asked me that in the middle of the thing, and it didn't click to me until I sat in the car later. I was like, you're really dumb that you didn't click on to any of this. Because even the police officer asked me, he was like, what's your clown name? And I'm looking at him, who the hell you? I forgot I was ready in the clown suit. But I had a ball. If you can watch it, it's something. I love that. But I've done that. I was on Little Women of LA. That was a reality, and I love reality because you can be yourself. I don't like lines or whatever, and I was able to be myself. But I started in the middle of season 8, and then COVID hit, and they stopped it. They did Atlanta one more year, but I loved it. And I still keep in contact with some of the girls on the show. I've done Californication. That was with David Duchovny. That was a good scene. They tried to get me nude in the scene, but I couldn't because of my federal job. So they ended up putting me in a bustier, and my tits was already hidden. That was fun. I've done CSI Las Vegas. I've done West Wing from back in the day. I mean, so I dibbled and dabbled. You know, I have fun with that. I've done Mad TV with Blink 182. You can bring that up. It was the Leave It to Beaver episode, and it was with the Little Munchkins and whatever that came in. But yeah, it's been fun. Like, I pick my battles on acting. Like, they'll call me for some stuff, and I'll be like, I'd rather just go to my regular job. But this stuff is, you know, it's fun for me. I love meeting the fans. The fans is what makes it for me, you know. And being in this line of industry for a while, and I just started doing like the autograph signings last year, and you get to see, you know how they say, you don't ever want to meet the person that you really idolize because they can be a dick. And that's some real shit. Like, I went to a con not too long ago, and one of the A-lister guys that was there, I think he works on Flash or something. Half the time there's people around me that are A-lister and I have no clue. I should just like, hi, or talk shit to them, you know, but somebody walked by him and he was like, you know, they were like, hi to him, and he was like, I only talk to paying customers.
Oh, what?
Yeah. I know, no, exactly. Because me and the lady that I was next to, that was another, you know, she's an actress, she was on Kingpin or whatever, her name is Vanessa. She was like, what the fuck did he just say? I said, she was like, now we gotta clean up because we don't want nobody else thinking that we're like that.
Yeah.
Because we're nowhere near that, you know? Just because one person is an asshole doesn't mean that all of them are.
Yeah.
You know, so it was disappointing to me. It was harsh, you know, because these people come out and pay to go into a con, and then they wait in the line to get your autograph, and then you snub them off. You're like, come on, it's not like that. You know, like I tell everybody, if it's not for your fans, you ain't shit. Because they're the ones who buy the shit, they're the ones who watch it. They're the ones who make or break you.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that. You know, you gotta be humble. People always tell me, they were like, if you become this big whatever, I said, I'm still gonna live on my same block. I've lived on the same block all my life. I'm 49 years old, I'm not scared to tell my age, even though like I look like a little kid, but my sailor mouth is what screws it all up. But I wouldn't change it for the world. I'd rather be somewhere where they know me than go somewhere and move for them to rob my shit. You know, I got a sign on my door, don't be scared of the dogs, be scared of the owner. You know? So it's just, yeah, you just kind of live life. And you never know, you know. Always tell your loved ones, you know, you love them. You know, you never know what the next person is going through. You know, suicide is a big thing. People don't, you know, these kids. Me growing up, I never went through social media. We didn't have social media. You know, when you're sitting at the dinner table, you're not on your phone. That's family time. Now people just to shut their kids up, they're giving them the tablets and be like, here. No, talk to your kids, see what they're going through in life, you know? If they're having any issues, you need it's sad. The bullying is crazy, all that. It's just in this day and age, it's just different. It's different, you know? And hopefully people get help when they need help. You know, it's crazy. More people, somebody's getting beat up on the street, they're pulling out their cameras and videotaping. No, go help the person, stop the fight, do something. But it doesn't work that way these days. I don't know. It's just my generation growing up and the generation now is completely different. which is sad, which is very sad. So, yeah. Any other questions? I'm sorry, I'm just rambling. I just had a big meal and my fat ass is tired and full, and then he bring me, because I said, so this 8:30, there's going the pie eating contest.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I was like, I can't get no pie. That's why they brought me the pie. I was like, I can't go eat no pie. How do you know I didn't want to eat the pie?
So was the highlight actually working with your son, or was it just like, do you have one that was like a favorite thing that you've done?
Well,
or-
the highlight is working with my son,
Yeah.
because my son he's a whole nother beast than me, and I don't know, I adopted my son. I've had my son since he was 2. He's 20 now, and he's very not like me. Like, I could look at him, and he's already crying. I'm like, what are you crying for? You're a man now, you're 20 years old. What are you crying? Because I know you're going to whoop my ass because that look that you're giving me. I was like, bro, what did you do wrong? You tell it on yourself. He just doesn't get it, you know? And just like he doesn't even have his driver's license. I said, bro, if I pass out on the floor or something, who's going to take me? The ambulance. I said, I'll call you an Uber. I said, kids these days, I remember when me growing up, the day that we were able to get our license, we were jumping in the car and getting it. Now they don't. Oh, I got my mom, or, I got my dad, or I got Uber, just Uber me. No, go get your license. So, it's crazy. So he took his permit. I think it took him 4 times. 4th time he took it, he passed. He was, just crazy. He goes home and he calls me, he said, what does this mean? It expires, he said, I just got it today. Say it was July 3rd. He says, it expires July 4th. I was like, did they do that right? Like, I thought it was a year from the date you took it. No, it's a year from the date that you paid for it. So I went back to the DOB the next day. I was like, it took him 4 times to take this test, and now you're telling me he has to take it over again? And the lady was like, yeah, let me speak to a manager. So she was like, no, he has to take it over. I was like, fuck, are you serious right now? And my son's looking at me and he's like, oh, she's about to make a damn scene in the DMV. So anyways, he goes, I said, it can't be that bad. You're still in your memory. He goes over there and the young lady, she was like, you were just here yesterday. You and your brother passed, because he went with his stepbrother. He was like, yeah, but they're making me. She's like, just go over the computer and put whatever in the computer. I got you. I'm going to give you the permit again. I was like, thank you, Lord Jesus Christ, because I didn't want to go. Because every time he didn't pass it, he's going home crying and frustrated and whatever. I was like, I don't want to go through this shit again. But thank God. But he still don't want to get his damn driver's license. Kids these days just don't want it. And he's not the only one. Like, I'm hearing all my friends like have kids. They're like, they don't want to get it. They don't want to get it. He's like, just get me a scooter. I'm not getting you no goddamn scooter. So, anything.
So aside from your son, who are some of the favorite people that you've worked with?
So I work with, she's the first female R2D2. Her name is Christine Gailey, and she plays R5. So that's my road dog that I usually take everywhere with me now. Like when I book, you gotta book her with me. You know what I'm saying? Because we're always up to no, and you know how they say opposites attract? She's so quiet and just, a good girl, and I'm the one. So now, like, she's like, Susanna, why aren't you talking shit? You need to go hurry up and talk shit because they're not doing something right. And now she's getting pumped up, and I love it. Yeah, she does egg me on. And I love it because we have a great time together. Who else? Boba Fett. Tim, he's from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Sweet guy. Yeah, he's awesome. At the end of our day when we did Boba Fett, that was the first thing. It's like, we walked up to each other and we're like, can we take pictures of each other? It's like, I was gonna ask you that. So, I could always show you the picture. I have it on my phone. I just don't post because, we can't sign NDAs and all that stuff. But yeah, we have a ball. It's like family on the set. Everybody always knows, hey, and if they don't find me on the set, they'll be like, it's either Susanna's at craft services, eating her ass away, or in the toilet letting use of what she ate. So, yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And I'm literally just like 7 minutes from the studios. You got people that'll drive 2 hours to get to the studio. And there's no way I can do that. But people are dedicated. Star Wars. They want to be seen. So, It's good. Brendan Wayne is the stunt double for Mando. Sweetheart. You know, anything that you screwed up with, he'll come in, he'll take his helmet on and be like, what do you need help with? It's like he's the daddy on the set, you know? So a lot of them are down to earth. Like I've never really had an issue. Well, one lady I did until she heard my mouth, and then after that I was like, hi Susanna. So they were like, she was one of the main characters. They were like, Susanna, you can't do it. I was like, well fuck, I told her good morning. She didn't want to say good morning back. Like I told her I take my good morning back. And when she heard it, she was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Oh, you got short jokes this morning, right? You didn't hear me. I know you heard me. You might have not, seen me, but I know you heard me. But yeah, always had a ball. Everybody that's on there, even the people that make our food, every day of the week. I mean, you're really eating some good food. Like we start off the morning when we get there, they send us to go eat. They're juicing us juicers in the morning, you know. I'm always getting my beets and my apple and my, my celery and orange juice mix, and omelet station, waffle station, pancake station, and everything. And then we get to lunch. Lunch is every day of the week you have a different type of steak. You have a different type of seasoned chicken. You have a different type of fish. You have the salad bar, you have the fruit bar, you know what I'm saying? The drinks. I mean, it's just crazy. Then they have just for vegan people, which you have a lot of people that are vegans on the set for some weird reason. And gluten-free. Still to this day, I don't know what gluten-free is, but whatever. If it looks good, I'll be like, I just take it. But it's fun. They take care of us. And I guess that's why they recycle me. I play 6 different creatures for Mando, Book of Boba Fett, and Ahsoka. So obviously they like me if they keep bringing me back. I think they like hearing me talk shit. But I enjoy it. So, anything else?
Did you say West Wing?
Yes.
Do you remember which episode? I love that show.
I know it's been a very long time.
Yeah.
And I remember being on the set, and I know he's recording, but that was one of the worst shows that I worked on the set.
Really? Oh,
The only person that was really, really down to earth, and he sat next to me and we shot the shit, was Rob Lowe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But on that set, it was like they were all stuck up and
Well,
yeah, not my cup of tea. I don't like going somewhere and not being able to be myself and talk the shit that I want to talk. So, anything else?
So what was the first thing you did? Like, how did you get it? Did you say you have a federal job and stuff? It's like, how did the acting part come?
So the acting part came in is, I never thought I was gonna go into acting. Never did. How I got into acting is my friend needed to go to the talent agency she was at. And she was like, I need you as a carpool dummy. I live in LA, so traffic sucks. I was like, come on, let's go. So she's actually like literally waiting in line to change her profile and her address and whatever. And they're like, hey, are you in our system? I was like, no. I think we could use you for a lot of stuff. So my first type of gig was stand-in work for kids.
Oh.
So to be a SAG member, you have to have 3 vouchers to even start being a member of a SAG. And my first 3 things, there's been people working for years to try to get that. And I didn't know. My first 3 vouchers got me in.
Nice.
So it's a blessing in disguise. But yeah, that's just how it
Kind of fell into your lap?
it fell into my lap. Correct. Just like the Little Women of LA. That fell into my lap because one of the main characters on Little Women of LA is Christy. And she worked on the set for one day with me. And I don't know, I'm a morning person. I've always worked at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And it was an early call time. And I walked in, I was like, hey bitch. And she was like, do you know me? I was like, no. And I've never watched that show. So she was like, I was like, no. I said, but you'll get to know me by the end of the day. So literally by the end of the day, she was like, hey, can I get your number? And I looked at her and said, for what? And she was like, I think you'd be an asset to the show that I'm on. I was like, well, which show is it? She was like, Little Women of LA, it's on like, blah, blah, blah. I was like, here's my number, whatever. Literally the next week, I was on the show. So you hear stories of people being at the right place at the right time. That's what it is. And I had a ball working on that show. Even though it was a bunch of drama and they were always fighting each other and talking down to each other, I had a ball. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. If I could do reality again, reality TV, I would. I would love it. I would love it. Anything else? I thought there was gonna be somebody up here asking questions. I didn't know I was coming and running the show.
I'm like, nah, she's got this.
Hey, I could rub my mouth. You just gotta ask. Ask and I'll tell.
So what got you into HR?
This is a long. So I used to work out on the field, and then ended up in the HR office working the front desk. So literally all the shit that I was doing, pressing button, answering the phones, you know what I'm saying, and referring people when they came to the front desk to who they needed to, whoever did that department, I'd refer them to it. Next thing you know it, I want to say. So I was working HR, but it was a front desk. I wasn't an HR specialist. So I want to say about 6 months ago, I go into, has it been 6 months? When was the Hawaii fires or whatever that stuff was?
Oh.
So I walk into, so it was at that time.
I'd say probably a year or so.
Yeah.
So it's been a
couple
year, I
years,
don't know.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening, I go into my boss's office, I was like, hey, I'm taking donations so we can send to Hawaii, you know? And he was like, oh, by the way, I need to talk to you before the end of the day. You don't tell me that at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I slammed his door and I sit down, I said, okay, what do we need to talk about?
Yeah. So at the end of the day, technically right now.
Yeah, so then he gave me 2 ultimatums. He said, your position at the front desk is no longer, because I went into my job as an F band, and I dropped down to an E band to just be peace of mind at work, because I'm still doing this. I just wanted to slide through work. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, 2 options. You go work at Lost and Found, or you become an HR specialist. So Lost and Found would have been at the E band that I was at. HR specialist bumps up to F band, and then I start getting paid more because I was already capped out. Basically, as an F band, I'm an E band, but I'm capped out at the F band thing because I've been working there. Touch wood, I'll be 22 years in October. So, Lost and Found, there's no way I was gonna go down there. I said I might as well sign my resignation because the manager down there don't get along with. Like, I'm not scared of anybody, but I don't like, at my other job, like, I tone it down. I wish I could pop off. Some people I do. I know who I can tit and tap with. But I was like, can't. I might as well resign if I have to go down there. So then I was pissed off the whole day. And one of the head wigs for the finance department pulled me in his office. He was like, come here. Your face is red as a tomato. He said, you look like you're gonna have a heart attack. What's wrong? And I told him, he said, fuck it, go for, I'm not computer literate. And I tell everybody that. I'm not, even with my cell phone now, I got hand over to the next person like, hey, can you help me with this? Like, I can't even do my social media properly. I'm just like, whatever. I'm not into that stuff. I do it because they make me do it now because of the line of duty that I'm in. But he was like, fuck it, go fuck up their whole shit. They're gonna pay you for it. You know what I'm saying? You'll learn throughout the way through the process. And I have. I mean, I've went a long way since, like before I wouldn't even know how to do Excel or anything like that. But, like I told him, I need somebody that's patient with me so I can write down, you know, my notes on doing the notes and stuff. So that I can refer back to knowing what I'm doing, you know? And there's been certain ones that I thought that would help, you know, that don't help, and the ones that I thought wouldn't help are the ones that actually help. Excuse me, I'm getting dry throat, I apologize. So yeah, but it's been interesting. It's not something that I really wanted to go into. I was put there, but I like the challenge. So I don't like being a failure. And that's one of the things, and you know, I've learned, I have friends that I work with that I go out on vacation with that have backstabbed me at work, which is disappointing. You know, the ones that you think that are your friends, why are you going to my supervisor and not talking to me? They're like, Susanna's screen is black. I think she needs more work. Mind your own fucking business. And I told them, like, they came up to you, like, you're acting weird with me. Why haven't you been talking to me? I said, this is not the time and place. If you want to talk to me, come to my fucking house or I'll meet you somewhere. Because I'm gonna flip the fuck out. Which I did. You know, you don't do that. You don't go to the supervisor to tell the supervisor, like, her screen is bad. Well, you don't know what the hell I'm doing because I'm paper pushing for my fucking supervisor. He told me to get these things together. My screen don't have to be on. And I said, and by the way, I didn't ask for this position. You guys upgraded to be G-bands. You think you weren't gonna get extra work? And now you're bombarded with work and you wanna say, what is Susanna doing? Don't worry about what the fuck Susanna's doing. And now they were like my boss called me another day, he said, is everything okay? I said, yeah. I said, I just had to check these bitches. He said, it's been real quiet around here. Okay, that's a good thing. He said, are you okay? I said, I'm great as long as they leave me the fuck alone. I said, I wish ever we'd go back to the COVID shit because nobody was at work. And I was literally like the only one that, I said, I didn't need no headache. I was at peace. I could talk to the walls and leave myself alone, you know what I'm saying? But it's just people don't ever, and I don't think it'll ever change. You know, you're gonna always have the ones that bitch and the ones that stay in their lane. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Anything else?
This is totally unrelated. Have you ever been to Minnesota or Minneapolis before?
I did. The first time I came here was at the Quantum Con where Anton and Anton, sorry, Anton, and I had a ball there. You know, the people here I like because you go and there's so many interracial relationships that you see. People don't look at you crazy. You know, they look at me crazy. My friend was like, they keep looking at you, they're like, it's a little kid with titties. So, they're gonna look at me crazy, but people here are just, they're nice. Everybody is welcoming, you know, with open arms. And just like I said, you can have, I've seen so many people, I went to the Mall of Americas, and so many people with just different, you have somebody that's white with black, and they have all these, you know, kids that are mixed and stuff. And that's just, it's it's heartwarming because back home you don't get that. They look at you crazy. You know, you see a white person with the black and they, you got jungle fever, you know, and stuff like that. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. And it shouldn't be like that. I wish here was like that. It could be around the whole world that people are welcoming and don't care on how you look or how many people you're screwing or whatever it is. Because I've noticed here, this is what brought, a lot of people are, what do you call it, polyamorous. And that shocked me because they were like, oh, this is my wife and this is my side piece and this is my,
You're like,
now we got, hold on. So that's, I remember the first time when I came out, I was like, everybody was introducing like, this is, I have, it seemed like not one person didn't have a second person in their life. It's like, okay, that's interesting. Back home, people think I'm Puerto Rican or they think I'm black and white mixed. I'm none of that. I'm a camel jockey. Both of my parents are from Cairo, Egypt. You know, so back home, you have the Muslims and they're allowed to have a certain amount of wives as long as they can afford them. You know what I'm saying? So I know my mom was looking at me. We would go to people's houses and they were like, oh, this is my wife. Oh, this is my other wife. And then she's telling me, she's looking at me and telling me in English, like, Susanna, don't start this shit. Please don't say nothing because these motherfuckers could be crazy. Just go with the flow and smile and be like, okay, nice to meet you. But it was interesting. It was very interesting. So, yeah, that's the world we live in, right? As long as you're happy and you can take care of each other, that's all that counts. There's no color. There should never be no color. You know, the only color that we see is the blood, which is the redness in us. But otherwise than that, yeah, you gotta live life and live it to the fullest, right? My mom always told me, you ever gonna get married? Like, I'm married to my dog. I don't need a headache. I don't need a headache. Every 5 minutes, where are you at? Somebody tells you, you know, you should never go get me food. I'm waiting in the drive. Where are you at? The fuck you mean where I'm at? Don't you hear me ordering your damn burgers and shit? So, are all you guys from here?
I'm from here. I lived in New York for a while, but I moved back when my job went remote.
Yeah.
It was fine. Like, I liked it, but I didn't have the energy to do anything but like go to work and then sort of recover from the commute and everything.
Yeah, the commute is a whole nother ballpark.
Yeah, mine wasn't even that bad and it was still pretty tiring.
Yeah. How about, is everybody else from here? Yeah?
I grew up in Minnesota, but I live in Fargo, North Dakota right now.
Nice.
Yeah, so.
What made you move out here? Dakota's beautiful from what I hear.
Yeah, I started out in central Minnesota, and then I went to school in, right around the Fargo area, and then ended up, I lived in Sioux Falls for a little bit in South Dakota, and then moved back. And met my husband, and now we're
Happily ever after, right?
Yeah.
How long have you guys been married for?
We just celebrated our 23rd anniversary.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he's here, and our two kids, we have a 19-year-old and a 17-year-old, and so I know when you're talking
You
about
already know.
your age, yeah, like
When they get that age,
yeah,
sometimes
I
they want
get
to
it.
talk back and give you attitude.
So, no, they're pretty good, but sometimes I'm just like, okay, I don't know yet.
Yeah, you just gotta throw your hands up in the air like shit. Hopefully you'll get over it, right?
You know, I live in South Minneapolis. I grew up in western Minnesota. Moved
Nice.
up here for college and never left. So my husband and I, it will be 26 years in a couple weeks.
That's it. Are you guys doing anything?
We did a nice meal out last year. This year will probably just be kind of quiet. And we have one cat and 2 nephews, which is great. I get to give them back.
Yeah, it's just like, it's fun, and then you get to get
Oh,
back.
I get it.
None of the responsibility.
I get it. And you guys all said you're out from here too, right? Yeah. Awesome. I had a cat. Passed away May 2nd. And you won't believe how. I mean, when I got the news, I couldn't believe, because the neighbors had sent a picture of the dead cat, and they were like, "This is Brownie, right?" I'm like, shit. Next thing you know, I rush home to try to run the cameras to see, you know what I'm saying, what the hell went on. Find out to be, I didn't even know I had audio on my cameras until I saw what happened. Coyote.
Oh, no.
And I live in the city.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I literally live 7 minutes from the LAX airport. So I was like, you never would think.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. And she would have never been out that early in the morning, but work called me and was like, hey, you need to be in at 3:30 a.m. because I guess the other lady couldn't do what needed to be done. So I let her out. That's my usual. She sleeps in at night and she likes to be out. I usually start at 7 in the morning, but start at 3:30 a.m. Literally, I'll never forget it. 4:46 a.m. She saw the coyote coming. I'm watching her. She runs, but she runs in the apartment complex that there's nowhere really to hide. And she tried to jump our gate. And she's a fat ass like me. She tried, and he snatched her by the neck. And she fought. And it just, and he didn't eat her. He literally just killed her for play and left her.
I know, the city coyotes are bad.
They are bad. We have some, I don't know if you guys have the Nextdoor app.
Oh, yeah.
And I was telling people on the Nextdoor, you should have never let your cat. Well, fuck you. My cat is not going to get stuck in the house all day. If you want to go out and have fun, let her go have fun. But I've been seeing pictures. One picture was shown on there. Literally, they posted it. Half of the cat, this whole path was eaten up. So they posted and people were like, why did you put that up there? And they were like, because we want the owner to know, like, hey, if this is your cat, they'll know how to, and it's gone. And the lady actually posted, she was like, that was my cat. I know from the print on the legs. And she was like, this is how she used to look. And she was like, thank you. And then we got the ones, why did you put that up? Just because of that reason. She would have never known what happened to her cat. I'd rather the unknown, not knowing, and I want to know. It gives
Because then otherwise you might be like, is she coming back? Is she still out there?
Well, that was the screw up with me.
What
What made me so pissed off is I went to Miami the week prior, and when I go to the Uber, she always comes and sits and watches like a goodbye mom, I'll see you. And I think she just had got pissed off. She was gone for a week.
Oh no.
I put up flyers everywhere. She came home that Saturday, and literally that Thursday is when the coyote ate her.
Oh, man.
So I went from a high to a low. It was just screwed up, so it was like, so no more cat. And I got so much cat food and shit at home, and it's like, my mom was like, just take it back to Sam's Club, they'll give you the money back, but You know, I sit there because there's some cats that do come around, and I'll still feed them, you know, so.
You'd end up with another cat that way.
Yeah.
I know, I know. Well,
Yeah.
that's how I got this one. It was a neighbor's cat and they never fed it.
Oh.
So that's how it got stuck with me, and I just, you know, feeding it. Dry food, wet food on top of the dry food. They were living a lavish life.
Yeah.
And, you know, put a hole in my pocket, but it's, you know, it's okay. I'd rather feed animals than feed, you know, humans that are not, you know, you give somebody 50 cents, they want 100. It's like, come on. So. Anything else?
Do you have any roles that you'd like to play in future? Any ambitions?
Who I would like to work for
Okay, sure.
is Tyler Perry.
Oh.
Hello. Yeah, I would like, yeah. He has his own studio, all that. Like, he's living it up. So I would love to work for Tyler Perry. I think that would be an experience. Anything? Going once? Well, make sure you guys come. I'll be in the dealer's room tomorrow from 10 o'clock in the morning. I think I have a panel at 2 and then I have a panel at 5. So I'll be there all day except for those.
Photo shoot it.
Huh?
Photo shoot.
Oh, photo shoot at 2?
They switched you from the panel to the Star Wars.
Oh shit, I don't know what that is. She puts the leash on me and drags me along, so.
I'll be at that photo shoot tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm coming to that. I've got a cosplay for tomorrow.
Yeah, so please come on by. Come on by to the table and shoot the shit, whatever you need. Yeah, I'm easy going. Can show you some of them pictures or
Yeah, can I see
whatever.
that picture of Tab?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, you can come up here and see it.
I love him. I love the clones. He just started all of it. And he's so cool. And he's cool.
So he is very down to
It
earth.
just seems so fun.
That's all he said.
Oh, that.
And then I got one with him.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
He's chill. He's real nice.
So chill, yeah.
And he knows how to play the guitar. We had a rap party. He sat there and sang the guitar and everything.
I love that.
He's really nice.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Good.
I appreciate
It's
you
good to
guys.
hear that stuff, you know?
No, it is. I mean,
Somebody that seems really cool and then you're just like, is he though?
he is very down to earth. Very down to earth.
Good.
So
Okay.
that's not one of the ones you got to worry about.
So you were mentioning that filming the scenes is like all sporadic and you don't know where the scene's gonna go. And
Correct.
So did you were there actors that you did work with or didn't work with, or like maybe you never met them and they were, you know what I'm saying, like when you were doing Boba Fett, did you like meet Ewan McGregor, or like did you ever see him, or like?
Honest truth, you're gonna laugh.
Yeah.
Half these people, I don't know their names. You know how embarrassing. I went to London Comic-Con, and one of the ladies I worked on the set with all the time, she's one of the main characters. It starts with a K. Is it
Kara?
Kate? Cat?
Oh, Katie Sackhoff?
There are those.
Yep.
I didn't know who she. And we're in the green room, and everybody's introducing themselves and like, and who are you? She looked at me, she said, Susanna, are you for real? Shit. So R2 was with me and she kicked me. She was like, bitch, she works with us. I was like, I'm sorry. Yeah, I really don't know. Like, I could be sitting here talking to the main character, clueless. Clueless. They'd be like, you know who you were talking to? But a human being, like, I don't know. You know, I said, I'm not a fanboy. Like, I don't know.
I mean, in fairness, in Star Wars, people are often wearing a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even she has like a red wig and like armor and stuff, so
And she's such a sweet lady too.
I bet she is.
So-
She also seems very cool.
Yeah, everybody that I've come across, believe me, has been actually pretty nice.
Nice. I love that.
And if they're not, believe me, they're here in my mouth. And that's when they're like, man, you can't say that. I don't give two shits.
I've got a government job. I can say what I want.
Correct. So, yeah, it's a blessing. It's
Nice.
a blessing. Hopefully, and there's, like I said, more to come.
So you mentioned the nudity. Aside from that, have there been any other conflicts between the two jobs?
So far, no.
Okay.
And hopefully it stays like that. You know, I've been using like annual leave. My days off are Saturday, Sundays. So I usually take annual Friday to come back Monday. So I've been punching my annual, so we'll see how much I have left. Yeah, it's, you know, I pick and choose on what I do too. Like if I really wanted to leave back Sunday night, it's hard. You know, some cons do. They want to push you out and they don't want to pay an extra night for your hotel. So you're lugging all your stuff to the con
Oh, of course.
and then rushing to get out of the con to catch your airplane flight.
Yeah.
And by the time you settle down, and me, sometimes like I travel by myself, or I'm usually with R2, but she's smaller than me, so I'm pulling my bags and trying to pull hers too. And it takes a toll. It takes a toll. So, you know, and I try not to put much on these promoters. You know, I could tell them like, hey, because I'm a small person, you know, we need somebody to travel with us. But if I could do it, I can do it. Maybe when I become a little old lady that I can't pull it anymore, they're gonna have to summon somebody to travel with me.
I'd like to lock suitcases in the back of my chair and be at trains.
So yeah, we just went to dinner, and they were like, "You gotta, you know, you have a panel at 8:30." It was like, shit. And by the time I already got back here, I was like, I could have just jumped on the back of her thing. But we made it on time. We made it on time. Yeah. Does anybody want? I can't eat this shit. We went to this restaurant and they really, literally, first I lied to them. I told them it was my birthday, so they brought me out this big lavish thing. And then
On fire.
it was like an ice cream. I don't know what the hell that was. From Oceana. And then they went and ordered 2 blueberry cheesecakes after that.
Oh, gosh.
So like I was trying to get back here and I'm like huffing and puffing. I was like, I'm gonna vomit because I think it didn't get to settle.
So how was it pie?
No, top it off with some pie.
Thank God I didn't go to that and get into that. I would have threw up all over the pie. Imagine that. That would have been a sight to see. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming. For sure.
Well, it's fun to hear your stories.
No, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. For sure. Thank you. Thank you for being fans. Make sure you guys watch that prank banner.
Yeah.
Now you know, and then when you watch it, you're gonna be like, oh shit, this bitch got issues.